Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining me for CyberCast IRL. It's a chilly morning. I got my heater on over here, so I don't know if it's coming through. But good morning, everyone. We are here. I almost missed the. Actually, I did miss the timer was done to move the camera over. But we're gonna have a good time today, as hopefully we always do when you come here. This is kind of our little cyber catharsis, right? Our cyber therapy session where we all get together and have a good time talking about cybersecurity stuff. If you're new to the channel, well, thank you, for stopping by and joining us today. Talk about anything that you can think of when it comes to cybersecurity. I'm starting to see a lot of people rolling in here from Simply Cyber. It was a good time at Jerry's show this morning. Had a lot of fun. We talked a lot about interesting cyber news there. And of course, his jaw-jacking session is something not to be missed. You always check that out. He starts up with the daily brief at 8, then at 9, it gets more fun with the AMA there with the jaw-jacking. And now we're here. You roll right into there. So, man, I thank you all coming over from that to join me this morning. That said, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. That's right. It's the morning pour. This one is for you, Luke J, because this is episode 20. I thought, we've made it 20 episodes. Let's do something special with the morning pour. And Luke, he always loves and enjoys, and only from what I understand, the White Monster. That's right. Today is brought to you by the OG Zero Ultra White Monster. All right. Let's get that ASMR going. Not a beer, because it's too early for that in some places. And pour time. Oh, it's good. This is the monster that started it all for me. I took one sip of this chilled deliciousness. My arm is shaking. Oh, man. To the tippity. That was almost too much. Oh, here we go. Dang, that is like drinking a laser beam, man. I love that stuff. It is so good. I'm going to move that can before I knock it over, so I can keep my. I talk with my hands a lot, and all I need is to go wee. There goes my can of Monster. That would be fun. That would be real fun for the show. Not fun for me, because then I've got a lot of electronics around here. So again, back to the good folks that are new to the show. Let me just inform you on how this works. Like I said, we talk about cybersecurity stuff. See, I needed that. I felt a little, but then I got that infusion of Monster, and now I'm ready to rock. So if you have something like a question that you want to have answered, obviously anybody in the chat is more than welcome to chime in and put their thoughts and opinions on that. This is kind of a collaboration of everyone here. I'm just the one on camera and kind of facilitating everything. But if you really want to get my attention, you have to make sure to @ my name. You put @ Daniel Lowry. Make sure you get the whole thing, because if you just do @ Daniel, that doesn't work. But if you do it right and everything goes according to plan, let me get my browser out of the way here so you can see this easily. It should look somewhat like what these. Come on. There you go. Like Justin here. Justin says, I'm ready for @ Daniel Lowry to start doing bar tricks the longer he streams on Friday. Episode 100, he's going to be doing behind the back and over the shoulder pours. That would take some time and effort. That would definitely take some time and effort. But I'm not opposed. I've been known to learn stupid human tricks from time to time. Like, right? Yeah. Anybody that's been to a lockpick village goes, oh, yeah. Yep. This is now a thing I do. Because as soon as you pop your first lock, you're like, the dopamine. I like this. Now I'm spending disposable income on locks I don't need just so I can pick them. Fun stuff. So there you go. Let's see here. So there you go. So make sure you at my name, and that way you can ask your question. I don't see Q's, so a lot of people do, hey, Q, and then that kind of scrolls by. We got a lot of people in the chat, a lot of talk going on. So it really pops out when you at my name so that I can see that. Speaking of which, Carrie Chasen says, when I was stationed in barracks in Okinawa, they had 2 types of beer in the vending machines. That's kind of, yeah, it's a different world over there, isn't it? It's a different world. See, Kyle says, I've been doing host discovery and enumeration on my network. I've been using Nmap and Nessus. What are some of your favorite tools and cheat sheets for this job? Well, you know what, Kyle? I've actually been working on a YouTube series. I'm going to make a playlist. And guess what? I'll give you 3 guesses what that's about. And the first 2 don't count. Right? It is Nmap. Right? So I use Nmap a lot for most of that kind of stuff. It's not the only game in town, kind of like you said. There's a lot of things like OpenVAS, right? OpenVAS will use Nessus under the hood, or it mimics the Nessus scanning. I can't remember. It's been a while. Nessus is a really good tool, and it has a lot of control and functionality and verification. Some things like Angry IP Scanner, or I mean, if you is SolarWinds. I think SolarWinds used to give out their like net host discovery kind of like ping sweep tool for free, or you can just write your own, right? I bet we can do that fairly quickly, right? Let's see here, right? If you're in Bash, let's have some fun. Bing, 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 bing. Right, there we go. Is that a good font size, everyone? So you can do like 4i in, or you can say maybe something like for host in, and then give it the curly brace 1.254 kind of thing. Do I think this is right? It's been a minute. And then you can do like ping -c, do like 1, and then I'm on a 192, so 192.168.1 $host. That looks good. And then I'll ampersand that. I think that's it. I got done, right? Yeah, that should unexpected. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry. Done. I think I'll just get rid of that. I think it has something. There we go. So see, there it goes. Yeah. And now it's just going to like roll through all that and ping everything. And then we can start looking at this output and making it look a little nicer, a little neater, grabbing things that, so you can see, oh, if it has 100% packet loss, I don't like that. That's not what I want, right? 100% packet loss means that it didn't show up. Or host unreachable. That means that's no bueno. I don't know why it's saying host unreachable, but yeah. It looks like that's just, what happens if there we go. But some of these things should be working. Like I think I have one right around here. Bing. 64 bytes from, right? So we can start grepping out. So let's control C this. Control C. Oh, it's got all the jobs going on in the background. So I'll let that finish up. Obviously, you would then start to pare down, make things a little neater, a little nicer, only grab the stuff that comes back. So I'm going to add some grep to the end of that. I've actually created this myself before and did all the heavy lifting. So let's go to my GitHub. Let's go github.com/Daniel Lowry. I think I keep it in there so I don't have to reinvent this wheel every time I do it. Let's see. If I go to, where is my repos? There they are. Repositories. I've got one called, wait for it, Sweeper. There it is. Bada bang. And you can just see this, how I did this. And it's a whole lot nicer than what we just saw. That was obviously very, very rough. Oh yeah, that's right. I was working on this and then kind of abandoned it. I think it only does class A's at this point, but there you go. So it's grabbing all that fun stuff to make this. There it is. Bada bing. Make this work a little bit nicer, give you a little nicer output, and so on and so forth. So if you want to grab that, but that's the point is you can create your own thing. You don't have to use Nessus or Nmap, especially if you're just doing host discovery. It could just be fun to, and a great project, right? To show your work on that you do your own thing. Not only can you do Nmap, or you can do Nessus, or you can do OpenVAS or Angry IP Scanner and have hands-on experience with those things, but you can also do your own thing. Maybe do it in Python, maybe do it in Go, right? I did it in Bash, do one in PowerShell, right? Could be cool. All right, let's jump over to the chat room because I'm missing stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Carrie Chasen says, when I was, oh yeah, we got that. Tech Ricky asks, what is your take on Ubuntu moving away from core utils? Yeah, I didn't see, I just saw the headline. I haven't read any information about that yet. It was like fleeting past me. I was like, oh, what's that all about? What's going on there? And then something distracted me and I forgot to go back to it. So honestly, I just kind of forgot about it. So I don't have an opinion quite yet. It is interesting, but I want to see more details before I can weigh in with an opinion. But remind me next week, Tech Ricky. And, of the Rickies are very technical by nature, but Tech Ricky is the techiest of all the Rickies, from what I understand. That's the word on the street. All right, let's see here. Haircut Fish. What's up, my bro? He says he's been working on handcuffs because last year at B-Sides Harrisburg, it was one of the challenges for the CTF. Handcuffs, I haven't done handcuffs in a while. He's talking about picking handcuffs. My friend Adam Gordon, right? When we learned to pick locks together at B-Sides in Vegas. Shout out to Adam Gordon. Good guy. Been around forever in the tech industry. But he had I struggled with handcuffs. It was like his thing. I could pick a normal lock or a shim, use a shim or something that worked really well for me. But those dang handcuffs were rough. And he would just be like, click. I'm like, dude, you've got prior experience with this, don't you? That's what it is. He didn't. It just kind of, you know how it is. Sometimes things come naturally to you. And it did for him. Let's see. Mustache IT. Good morning, Mustache IT. I've been playing with Cowrie this week. Ran into some fun stuff. Haha. Yeah, I bet you did. I even did a write-up to document everything on my GitHub Pages site. Mustache IT, drop it. Drop that in chat. Or can you? Can you guys drop links in chat? Let me know. OpenVAS and Nessus parted ways years ago. Yeah, they did. I just meant what was going on under the hood with both of them. I know OpenVAS is now Greenbone, and Nessus has long been a pay-for service for quite some time now, but you can still use it for free. I did want to look up. Let's go looking up. I think SolarWinds. Kind of back to that. SolarWinds network scanner. Oh, geez, this keeps happening. I'm really enjoying this. Look how this thing's still going. Oh, that is why you got to clean that output up because that is wicked slow. Let's see here. SolarWinds network scanner. There we go. Network scanner. Bada bing. So SolarWinds has long been a staple in the network. There you go, right here. Download free trial. Bada bam. Fully functional for 30 days. That's actually not bad. You know what you do, don't you? You know what you do, don't you? You create a VM, you download it, and you put it in there, and then You take a snapshot, and then you install it and run it for 30 days. Save any files. I'm not. Anyway, don't do that. I mean, I'm just saying, one could if one were so inclined. Just saying. I neither condone nor condone doing that, but hey, I've heard that people do. Let's see. Oh man, I hate when my stupid chat does that. So the chat will like jump on me. Eric Taylor was in the house. He said, have a great day. Have a good stream, Daniel Lowry. Thank you, Eric. Got some items to address before going to the Children's Hospital for a fundraiser. Well, I hope that goes very well. Raise much money for those good kids in that hospital. I love it. I support it. It's awesome. Kerry Chasen, throwing job ideas against the wall, still not sticking. I am going through another Coursera with basics on cloud. What can I learn to use cloud or get the experience since it is hard? Okay, that is an absolutely phenomenal question. Kerry Chasen again, free stuff for the cloud. Try to keep the chat. I forgot to mention Wayne's Real World is in the chat. He kind of like is one of our unofficial official moderator for the chat. So if I miss something, hit Wayne, and Wayne will make sure to get it to me. He'll spam me until I see it. So I'm going to keep rolling through because I see that Kerry is still asking a little bit more about. He says, I know I asked this, just wondering how to get better experience with Azure Cloud, and we'll have to look at experience with Linux for the cloud. What can I do for experience? The good news is, did Kali update? Thank you, Real Bilbo, for letting me know that Kali has updated. I literally just downloaded Kali 2024 like 2 or 3 days ago because I was working on something. I said, I need to grab just a fresh copy. So if it came out, it must have came out, yesterday? Day before, maybe? So no, not yet. I will be doing that shortly, though. But let's get to Kerry's question, right? So Kerry, good news is you need exactly $0 to get started with Azure Cloud. They give you, I think, $200 worth of free credit. Let's go there for new signups, right? So Azure, let's just and you can just start building things and using up. And trust me, that $200 is going to take you far. Hello, what's it doing? It's like freaking out. I don't know why it didn't want to go. Okay, let's try that. Okay, new to Azure, get started, right? Bam. So try for free, right? You can also pay as you go, but I would obviously say try for free. Azure free account. Let's make this a little bit like that. There we go, right? Available only to new Azure customers. So hopefully you're a new Azure customer. Free monthly amounts of 20 plus popular services for 12 months. Free monthly amounts of 65 plus always free services, always access to full catalog of services up to free amounts. There it is. And a $200 credit, right? So pick your thing, like mess around with Entra ID, create a domain, work with the services. Definitely like look at Sentinel and what you can do with building alerts and things of that nature. Those are great things to do. So just start looking up projects for, this is where Google is your friend, right? So let's go to google.com, and we will say Azure projects. Oh, we'll say Azure, beginner projects. Well, let's do that. Beginner Azure projects, right? Beginner ideas for Azure products. Reddit to the rescue. As always, right? Get out of the way. Let's see. We've got why not try Cloud Resume Challenge? Can easily be done in Azure. Okay, that's not you might like try this. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a github.io, but anyway, be careful on clicking links. How about deploying Azure Function through DevOps, created either ARM or Bicep? Right, so those things are kind of important when it comes to Azure Cloud. Azure Functions will be your choice of language. Okay, that's interesting. Or a problem or side gig, what do you want to do? Your favorite language? I guess they're looking at more of they're looking more on a programming language kind of thing or deving stuff. Top 12 Microsoft Azure project ideas for beginners and experts alike. Right? Let's see what we got here. Why work on Azure projects? Please stop asking me to sign in with Google. Jeez, that's annoying. Choosing the right project for your skill level. Yeah, where's the projects? For beginners. Basic web app deployment. That is a phenomenal idea, right? Just do this. Follow the bouncing ball. Start here. Hosting your first web application. Sorry. I know you guys have a hard time seeing this stuff. Hosting your first web application on Azure App Service. That is a great idea. Azure Storage for file management. Beginner's Guide to Azure Blob Storage, which you will absolutely be using if you are in the Azure environments. You will be storing all sorts of stuff, right? Here's another great one. Virtual machine setup. Create a Windows virtual machine in the Azure portal. All the basic bells and whistles that you normally would be doing. Then, I would just take this link right here. I'm going to grab it. See if I can throw that in chat for you. Paste. Bam. Grab that link. Do all those projects. So sign up for Azure. Do all the projects. You now have Azure experience, right? Hopefully that helps you get going, because that is a great idea. And this is what I like to tell people. And I think that you've noticed something, obviously. If you're trying to get into cyber, a great way to do it is by starting in cloud, right? And of course, we always say, hey, go to the help desk route and things of that nature. Sure, that's a great way, tried and true path. But one that kind of gets slept on a lot is start as a junior cloud admin. Learn Office 3 or what is it, Microsoft 365 admin, right? Learn Intune a little bit. That kind of stuff. No shortage of work for those people, because that's what everybody runs on. So go do that. Get that cloud admin experience, because guess what? Everything you do is built in the cloud. I say everything. A lot of things is built into the cloud nowadays, and security included. Like I said, I was talking about Sentinel and things of that nature. Once you get the basics of how Azure works, then you can move into working with the security functionality and features that is built into it, as well as just standard good, OPSEC and things of that nature, like AppSec and you name it, all the fun sec stuff. But yeah. So that is a really, really good path to a cyber job. And of course, once you get your first job and you get settled in, that's when you start telling everybody, is like, oh man, everybody that's on your team, when you're having conversations, you have like a general chat area or a rando stuff area. If you're like in teams, if you're a remote worker, it's even better if you're actually in a building with people, because then you can just have organic conversations about being interested in cybersecurity. And like, what are you doing with cybersecurity? Are you interested in cybersecurity? I think everybody just about is. If you're in IT, in some way, shape, and form, you have to be. Whether you are passionate about it or not is a different story, but you have to be interested in some way, because if you're not, you're going to suck at your job, right? It's important to think about cybersecurity in all aspects. I don't give a dang if you're on a help desk, if like when people are changing their passwords, when they call to get their password changed. Hey, do we have security questions? Do we ask these people to verify who they are? Maybe we need a policy and a procedure, right? Everything touches cybersecurity. So start to talk to those that can help you, or maybe not right now, but later when a spot opens up. Get really good at your job. Do your best to be the best at your job. And then let everybody who will listen know how interested and passionate you are about cybersecurity. And then when it comes time to, hey, we need to do a cyber project, I help. I'll get coffee. I'll run cables. I don't care. I'll crawl under subfloors. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, done all those things. I'll sit there with my phone on, going, okay, unplug what port? 15. Okay. 15's unplugged. Okay, I'll plug it back in. Right. I've literally done that. Foxhound stuff. That is a great way to show, like, you'll do anything, that you're a team player. You just want to be a part of the show. That shows your passion. And then it also shows your capability, as long as you're doing things right. When it's time for, we need somebody to step up here on our team. Man, Carrie's awesome. He's always here to help. That dude is phenomenal at his job, right? That gets your name in their brain. And then when it's time to call you up to the majors, as it were, up to the big show, that's who they think about. That's how, I can't tell you how many people I've given that advice to and that they followed it. It absolutely worked for them. And now they're security managers, right? So there you go. Man, that was a fun, but great idea. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a phenomenal idea. All right, let me get back here. What have I missed? Okay, I think I actually did. Oh, FedEx says he handcuffed and 3 locks in 22 seconds. Dude, you're a beast at lock picking. Good job, brother. Let's see. The real Bilbo talked about Kali 2025. Go look at that in just a second. White Hat Sheepdog asked me if I'm watching any of the March Madness games. So the only sport that I even come close to paying attention to is NHL hockey. And that is very limited. Yeah. So this is what it is. So the short answer is no. No, I'm not. But thanks for asking. I know a lot of people are interested in it. I'm just not a sports person. What can I say? Let's see. What else we got here? So Kerry says he has the account for Azure pulled up, and I will get going with projects. I applied for Dish Network, and it looks like I have an interview coming up soon. They want me to pick at 8. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. For those of you new to the channel, we do talk a lot about getting work in cyber, how to stand out from the crowd when it comes to resumes, when it comes to being the person that they would want to choose. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's awesome, bro, that you've got this lined up. We are pulling for you big time, because from last week, what you were saying in chat was like, it was, I hated to hear it, bro. I hated to hear it. And to now hear that you've got something going on that you might actually do, man, I am really rooting for you, brother. Kyle asked me, so how many of those guitars are in drop D? So I've got, let's see here. I've got one guitar at least. And I got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 guitars in standard tuning. I've got 1 guitar in standard drop D tuning. I've got 2 guitars in half step down tuning. And I've got 1 guitar in half step down drop D tuning. There you go. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Let's see here. Haircut Fist asked me, what's my NHL team? Pens fan here. On the rare instance I go get to watch it like once or twice a year. Yeah, that's about me. I'm not a Pens fan. I understand the appeal. They have a great team. And historically I've had a great team. You're gonna hate my guts because I'm a Rangers fan as well. Obviously the Lightning. So when I got into hockey, it was 2004, I think. And I kind of jumped in during the playoffs and followed the Lightning because I'm like, oh, I'm from Florida, so I guess I got to follow that team. And the Lightning I was like, well, there's the Lightning, there's the Panthers. I was like, Lightning. Lightning sounds cooler. And they won the Stanley Cup. It was insane. went down to the last game and last like overtime goal. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, I have found my sport. And of course, you know, I went to watch a fight and a hockey game broke out, which spoke to me. I loved that aspect of that they would just throw hands and stuff. And it was exciting. It was entertaining. And then, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I need to pick like an old school team, like a team that's been around, tried and true. So I just went with the Rangers and I followed the Rangers and they did pretty well. And then it's just like, I'm no fair weather fan. So I root for them, whether they do well or not. And the same for the Lightning. I also like Boston. I think Boston's got a good team. Chicago is pretty good. A couple of the Canadian teams are interesting to watch. I like the Sharks from time to time. They're good. There was a time I did not like the Pens because they were kicking my team's butt all over the ice. It was very annoying. Curious Nick says he is about 5 minutes from the Martin factory. That has got to be fun. Do you get to go in? Have you ever like showed up and be like, can I tour the factory just to find this stuff interesting and fascinating? And would love to see how the cornflakes are made. That could be fun. That'd be a neat little YouTube video, huh? You know what? That would just got me going with an idea. Maybe reach out to some of these tech companies that are close to me and see if I can get some of them to, you know, sit down, pick brain, talk, maybe even see some data centers or something. That'd be neat. Let's see here. What is going on in chat? Well, looks like we're all talking hockey at this point. I see Red Wings, Detroit. Yeah. Oh, man. My friend Don Pizzette, huge Red Wings fan, like massive Red Wings fan. Boy loves his wings. That's for sure. All right. Let's talk some more about. Oh, you know what? Let's do. Let's jump in and go check out that Kali. Da-dun-da-dun. Da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Kali.org. What is going on here? What happened? All right. Well, what happened is we're going to go to Google and see what the heck is going on. Kali. Or do they really have a problem with their thing? Yeah, that's what's going on. So let's look at installer images. Well, there's got to be a. Is it Get Kali? That's this, right? Then there's the blog. Maybe it's in the blog. There it is. Release 25 1A release theme and Raspberry Pi. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what they got going. We are kicking off 2025 with Kali Linux 2025 1A. This update builds on existing features, bringing enhancements and improvements to streamline your experience. It is now available to download. I love how far my mouse moves. Or upgrade if you're already running Kali Linux. Kali Linux 2025.1a. What happened in 2025.1? There was a last minute bug discovered in a package after already producing our images. As a result, a rebuild was needed with a fix. Well, that's good to know. They are keeping an eye on things, trying to make sure that things don't get too crazy for us and release buggy crap. We don't want that. Let's see here. Kali Linux on the new modern WSL. Last year, we had the pleasure of being reached out to by Microsoft in regards to participating in a new launch of modern WSL distribution architecture. In summary, this new architecture allows for easier distribution and installation of WSL distros. For the full explanation of how this works, please visit or view Microsoft's blog post and their documentation. Microsoft had a fun time this week, didn't they? 11 RCEs that have been around for a hot minute. But yeah, there we go. Well, I guess that's the blog post. So maybe I have to actually click on this. Yeah. Duh. Oh man, sometimes I kill myself. That's so funny. What else we got going? Here's what we're looking for. A recap of the changelog, but we got a yearly theme refresh. Is that clickable? Yeah, open that in a new tab. Show me what it looks like. All right. Got a little bit different things. Like, okay, we've got live system, fail-safe mode, forensic mode, USB persistence, live stream system with USB encrypted persistence, start installer with speech synthesis, advanced install options. All right, still looking pretty colly. I have definitely seen this backdrop. And maybe I did download. You know what? I bet I did download this because I noticed that this was the default wallpaper on the latest one I downloaded. So I guess I have. Well, guess what? It's actually this. Yeah, this is it. I do have it installed. See, I was playing around with Wireshark, and I did change the wallpaper because it was a little too noisy. But there you go. Yeah. Cool stuff. Let's see. You know what I was messing around with and I thought was really cool? Let's see here. Like, I think GoFish is installed. Yeah, Fish is installed. Yeah, there was. Put that in there. Yep. So, like, I'm really enjoying the way Firefox is doing this. Hey, to keep using Firefox, you got to restart. I hate you. I hate you so much. Yes. It didn't load because of that. Thank you, Firefox. Let's try that again. There we go. Now what's up? Dashboard. And now you can play around with GoFish, which I was. Because I was really into fishing lately. So it was nice to see that GoFish was installed by default. Evil Jinx wasn't. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh. I am losing my mind today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Bringing it back to here. But it was nice to see that you can. Evil Jinx isn't installed by default, but it is installable through their apt repository. So there was that. Let's see. What else do we got going on here with this update? New wallpapers. Yeah. Which are not too bad. I like the one that I got on mine. So let's see here. Wallpapers are a nice thing, but there we go. KDE Plasma 6.2. After a long wait, we are excited to announce that Plasma 6 is finally available on Kali, specifically version 6.2. This is a major update, as the previous version sucked. Included, I'm just kidding. Was Plasma 5.2.7, making the scope of changes difficult to summarize. I bet that's kind of a leap, right? Our end, we have updated the themes, aligned with the new environment. Okay, that's cool. This is all visual stuff. XFCE 4.2.0, which is the one I typically go with. It's because I usually run this stuff in virtual machines, so I just want the lightest, high speed, low drag as much as possible. New keyboard shortcuts. Control Alt F for the file manager, Super E for the file manager. So they're trying to get you to the file manager in some way, shape, or form. We got 3 stinking keyboard shortcuts. Super R is the run command. Super T for open terminal. Previously Control Alt T. Yeah. Super W to open web browser. Okay, this is nice. Super F1 to find your cursor. Super D to show the desktop. Cool. Window manager shortcuts. A lot of keyboard shortcuts got changed. You can check or added. You can check all the other XFCE keyboard shortcuts and key bindings along with, because there's a way to look all these up in there, or add new ones, edit the ones that are there if you don't like the way they are. And then we got some Raspberry of stuff, various Raspberry image changes for 2025.1. Raspberry firmware is now being used. We use the same Raspberry package as Raspberry OS, a new kernel, version 6.6.7.4. Included in all our images, including support for the Raspberry Pi 5. There's the new kernel packages right there. Any tools? That would be nice to know. Kernel stuff, Partition layout changed. This might be interesting to certain people running Raspberry Pi. Net Hunter updates. If you're running this on an Android tablet or phone, there's some fascinating Kali Net Hunter updates. Straight up out of the blue, Vulkan added a new CAN arsenal. Cool. That's interesting. Dynamic wallpaper. Yeah. There we go. New tools. Hookshell is now a part of the fun. Let's see here. There has been more focus on updating packages. We bumped the Kali kernel. Still, the Kali release would not be complete without something new to be added. So it looks like they only added Hookshell. So no longer do you need to go grab the GitHub. You can just play around. Here's some miscellaneous things, which you might not care about. So it looks like it's more about making it an updated Kali, like everything that the engine that runs everything and look and feel, than it was about updating tools and stuff. We had one tool update, the WSL update, which was a different blog post, but very cool. Yeah, there we go. There's our quick and dirty rundown of what's going on with that with Kali. Good job, Kali. We look forward to the next one. Hopefully more tools in the next one. That should be fun. Kerry says he has a phone interview for the Dish Network on Monday at 11. Cool. Like I said, brother, we're going to be pulling for you, man. We hope to hear good news the next time we talk to you. So that will be awesome. Hopefully. Legrat has got to head out. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend to yourself, Legrat. Always glad to have you around. Rains World says that, what are my thoughts on dual boot Windows 11 Kali? Because he's grabbing from Duke Norris. Duke Norris is actually asking this. Thank you, Wayne, for grabbing that and getting it to my attention. Dual boot, I don't really like dual boot. I've done it, obviously. That's how I've come to the conclusion that it's not for me. And here's why. Is I don't have to shut down and reboot back into something else, right? There's very little time where that would be a benefit. That's like, oh man, if I had this running on metal, I wouldn't be, I could fix this, or I could figure that out, or I could blah, blah, blah. So I just run everything in a VM, or it is the installed operating system on something metal, right? I got Linux, I got Windows, I got Linux. I've got a MacBook, an old MacBook running Mac OS in my house next to my bed. I use that from time to time. It's kind of like my bedroom laptop kind of thing. So yeah, if I need something that bad and it has to be on metal, I have it on metal somewhere. Grab an old laptop. So if you have your daily driver and you need a Windows experience, and that is not unlikely to be the case for a lot of people, run Windows and then use Workstation Pro or VirtualBox or whatever, and use Linux VMs for everything else. And then go grab like an old whatever you can for, if you don't have one already, get something from like a yard sale or eBay or whatever for very low money, Facebook Marketplace, pick up a 5 to 10 year old laptop and put Linux Mint on it, and it will run. Run Zorin OS. It will run. I would almost guarantee that it will run. And now you got something with metal that's running Linux, and you can just be like, that's my Linux thing, right? That if I need that on the metal. So I don't really like, well, I guess I got to reboot. I got all this stuff here, but it's reboot time because I need to go into Linux. I'm like, okay, no thanks. Okay, let's see here. So that is my point. John 5, what's up? Thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliments. He loves the show and he appreciates my efforts. Thank you. I appreciate you showing up and being a part of everything. Let's see here. Wayne is letting me know that Voltorb asked any suggestion. I am planning for Cisco networking 200 301 exam in April. I want to know I am ready for that. So use, oh, the name is stupid escaping me. Packet Tracer. And get really fast. Like, you should be able to set up a 3 to 5 site network using whatever, probably EIGRP or OSPF, and with VLANs on the switches. I don't know what it's been a long time since I've taken a Cisco exam, long time. But they like you to be quick, right? Get subnetting down to a science, like to where it is nothing to you. That is going to be so get super fast on your command line stuff where you're just like cranking stuff, like, that stuff cold. Give yourself I need to build an environment of 3 sites with 2 VLANs and be able to ping through. And I need to be able to do that in 15 minutes or whatever. Like, give yourself a very short amount of time. Really push the clock on that, because their exams are all about time and stone cold knowing things. So flashcards and getting subnetting down and knowing defaults, especially around like TCP IP and stuff. That would be my advice to you on that. Best of luck to you. Hopefully you do well. We'd love to see and hear next week. Let us know, or whenever. When are you doing it? Oh, in April. Okay. After you kick that exam's ass, come back and let us know. We'd love to celebrate with you. Tech Ricky's asking me, what do I daily drive distro-wise? Well, where shall we begin? Linux Mint, mostly. I've got 1, 2, 3 Linux Mint machines. Kali, I daily drive a lot. Windows 11, I daily drive a lot. And Mac OS for rando Mac OS things. But that's how I live. Ubuntu is good, but I don't know. It just doesn't speak to me anymore. Like, I like Zorin OS. Obviously, I mentioned that as well. Okay, Mustache IT is letting me know that it will not let me post a link to the write-up. But that sucks. That's the one limitation of stinking the chat here in YouTube, is it doesn't let. And I get it. Like, that makes sense, honestly, when you think about it. You could spam my chat with your stupid links to crap nobody cares about. And they want to keep that. I wonder if there's a setting I can change. If you know that, let me know, or I'll look it up after the show. If I can let people do that, I'll have to look into that. A lot of people talking about the shirt. Fred On says, are you a Master Yoda fan or a Jedi fan? So, I am a fan of Star Wars, episodes 4, 5, and 6. I don't necessarily dislike the prequels. They got their issues. You know what? I'm going to give you guys something fun. Let me grab this here. This is for those of you that don't know about this and that this exists. This is fun. Red Letter Media, which I totally misspelled, right? There, YouTube. This is where you want to go, right there. Let me grab that link. Actually, I'll make sure you get to the right link, or if this doesn't go there. If you want to laugh hysterically, let's go to playlists. About a review about the Phantom Menace and other stuff. Red Letter Media, there it is. Episode 1. Start here. I will grab this. No, booking.com. I don't need you. Shut up. I'm just grab this link. Copy. Bam. and then I'll paste that in the chat. When you have the time, it is lengthy, but it is worth a good chuckle. Super User Dude says, plink it. Yes, sir. Oh, man. If you are not familiar with that, it's just a really interesting review, like from a filmmaker. Like, I think they were all like film students that made this at the time. And now they have this red letter media as like a thing. But it's extremely funny. Do not watch it near the kids, by the way. This is not for children. But it is an extremely in-depth review with some very lowbrow humor, but very funny humor as well. But there you go. So again, back to that. I like 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3 have some interesting things to them, but I'm not overall a fan. I don't like rewatch them a lot or anything. And then the sequels, they were all right. I didn't hate them. I was like, it's all right. It's all right. Whatevs. It's Star Warsy stuff. And then let me bring you in for this one. Solo came out. Again, I didn't hate it. Had some good stuff to it. Mandalorian came out. I was like, yeah, now this is good. I liked Mandalorian a lot. And then what was it, Ashoka or whatever it is. And it just seemed like, what they're doing? They are trying to just extort me over nostalgia. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So there came a time when I started to Rogue One. Someone mentioned Rogue One. I thought that was a good movie as well. Again, nothing wrong necessarily with the quality of what was coming out. It just seemed like everything is just trying to get my money. Like the ultimate goal of it. It wasn't because they were fans necessarily. It was because they wanted money. And therefore, I could see that everything was a money grab for me, and I hated that. And I want them to stop doing that. So I stopped watching remakes, reboots in general. I've got to hear like amazing things about it. Otherwise, I just don't watch, not even just Star Wars, everything in general. Make something new for the love of all that's holy. Make something new. Stop playing on my nostalgia and make something new. I don't need a 15th iteration of Thundercats. I've got the original Thundercats and it rocks. I'll just go watch that. Right? All these reboots and remakes and everything, I can't stand it. I'm sick of it. I want new things. And that's what I want. We're kind of getting off topic, but there you go. You got me ranting. Okay. Let's see here. Fredon says, okay, that's where I was at. Super User Dude made it. It's awesome when people click stuff and their account gets compromised, sending out phishing emails to their whole contact list. Job security. It is that. We got to stop clicking things, man. I don't trust I'm like scrutinizing everything. And with today's phishing capabilities, you are hard pressed to get me to click a link. I'm just typing in, going and logging in and going, where is the thing that you're talking about? Right? Even if it looks legit to me, I'm still I look at it with a jaundiced eye. We got 6 minutes. Let's see. Carrie Chasen says, I'm sorry, I keep saying your name wrong. You did pronounce it last time. It was like Casey. I'm sorry, brother. Last time I attempted to dual boot, I messed up install and deleted the grub bootloader. So that's why I just have Linux. Windows is end of life this October. Interesting. Wayne's Real World says Zach is here. He is here. What's up, Zachary? IT career questions. Having fun. We don't got much time left, but I'm glad you got to show up, bro. We had a great time at the Red Team Summit, man. That went that went swimmingly well. That was a lot of fun. Great talks. Over at Anti-Siphon Training, we did this thing called the Red Team Summit. It was basically a virtual Red Team con. And man, it was so much fun. And I really enjoyed the panel discussion at the end with John and Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber. And him and John Strand, they just had such wonderful insights. And, they both have been around. They got all sorts of knowledge and experience that most of us do not have the pleasure of having. So it was really cool to pick their brains and hear their war stories. So much fun. Tech Ricky says, so are you a Minty boy then? I am. Like, so much so that if we look at, was this the one? I think this is the one, right? Yeah. You'll notice this is called Mac Minty because this is an old iMac that I have over here with Mint installed on it. I'm a Minty boy. What can you do? It is what it is. I like Mint. It works. For the most part, the thing gives me no problems. You install and you run it, and it works. I don't need to spend all day long trying to figure out why my Linux doesn't Linux very well. You know what I mean? I ain't got that kind of time. That ship has sailed. I just need to work. D-Crash says Parrot Security is fun. I am a fan of Parrot Security. Like it. Thumbs up on that. Let's see here. Cheddar Bob. Recommend you launch your own Discord community for that link dropping. Yeah, I have talked about that, and I do think that is the way to fly. I just haven't done it. But yeah, you're right. Kick my ass. Tell me to do it. FedEx says there is a setting that I can configure, but I wouldn't recommend it because spam. Yeah, I get that, right? Duke Norris is asking me about lightsaber benchmarks. I know nothing about that. I just like the movies. I even have the despecialized. Yeah. Look up the despecialized versions of Star Wars. If you are a Star Wars purist, well, I don't know why I'm doing this. I can show you, right? Let's do this because I don't need that anymore. Google.com and Star Wars let's make sure you can see this. Specialized version. All right, just G-specialized. This should be good. I think it's already showing up. Yep, Harmies, despecialized editions, where they went all out to remove all the new stuff like this garbage right there. You can see that's Hayden Christensen. No. He wasn't in Return of the Jedi. Don't put him in Return of the Jedi. Stop screwing around. So they despecialized. They took all the special stuff, like that whole talk with Han and Jabba in the flight bay or whatever it was, where it's gone. That's gone. Doesn't exist. It wasn't in the original film. They turn it back into the original film. It's all digitally remastered. There's like, if you go to the originaltrilogy.com, like I guess I will. Harmy's Return of the Jedi Specialized Edition, discussion members. There we go. There's even like, I think what do you call it? Here we are on Star Wars. Not talking cyber at all. It is cyber adjacent though. I think it is. But they did like a documentary on how they remade this. Really fascinating, really interesting. Highly recommend it. So there you go. Let's see here. The Stinger says, my daily drivers are at desk are Kali Purple bare metal, Windows 11 Pro bare metal, and Mac OS bare metal. Yeah, it's. I know it costs a little bit of money to have all the things, but if this is your job, then it's helpful to have all the things, right? Carrie says, I know you laughed at Jar Jar Binks. He was a silly cartoon rabbit. that poor guy almost killed himself over being hated, that character being hated so badly. Curious Nick says, I want to test my family. I'm at 11 o'clock. I'll finish up these comments and we'll call it a day. I want to test my family with a phishing campaign that results in stop clicking links message. See who bites. I think that's a great idea. That is a fun idea, right? You run the network. Mustache IT. I'm going to B-Size Charlotte next month. Thanks for convincing me to go to a conference. You're not gonna be upset with that. You're gonna absolutely enjoy that. So and by the way, talk to people. Jason Blanchard was telling us he did an experiment on at the last conference he was at. That he decided not to talk to anybody that didn't talk to him first, because he's very outgoing. He's very gregarious. And he said that he talked to 3 people. 3 people talked to him. Kids, you got to start conversations. You got to meet people. You got to break that approach anxiety barrier and just be like, hey man, what are you doing at the conference? What brings you here? What do you do? Where do you work? If you can talk about that, right? Like, what are you trying to get into? Oh, you're a student. That's cool. What are you learning right now? Just simple, easy questions. Here's the fun fact. You are interested in the same things. You would not be at the conference if you guys were not interested in the same thing. So just talk about what you're interested in. Oh man, you know what? I was really thinking about sending my family a phishing link. That could be fun to see. And then respond back with stop clicking phishing links. Maybe a GIF of someone slapping a hand, a rolled up newspaper to a dog kind of thing. Right? So talk to people, get out there. That is do not waste the opportunity to grow and build your network of people that you know that are getting into the industry, that one day may be in the industry, that are in the industry. Talk to everyone at every booth. Talk to them about their product, what they do. What are you looking for in employees? I know that some of them are probably salespeople. I know I'm going over a little bit. We're just going to go a little bit long because I think this is important. But ask them, say, I'm not here to ask you for a job. But what I do want to know is, what do you people look for in a qualified candidate? What are the things that are most important to you? A lot of times, yes, they have salespeople there, but they a lot of times also have someone who is a technical person from their organization. So hook up with that person and start to question them. What do you guys, if you're building stuff, what languages do you use? What would you suggest I do? What kind of projects should I be working on? Because I really want to grow my resume. I want to have the right things that are not to get a job. I want those right things to make me good at cybersecurity. That's how you frame it, because that should be your focus. Because if you're good at cybersecurity, it doesn't matter. They want you. It doesn't matter who it is. Everyone's going to want you. So to hear and get your finger on the pulse of, what are you guys looking to do? What do you think would be? And you can start to build an idea. In your experience, everybody's saying, oh man, I really need to get handy with Python. Or, I really need to pick up Azure and security in Azure. It's just everybody's all about that Azure security. Office 365, phishing is a problem. Okay, let me get amazing at that so I can put it on my resume. Right? Not rocket scientist, but if you don't get out there, open your mouth, shake some hands, talk to people, and you never know who you're going to hit it off with, right? Man, we are just cut from the same cloth, aren't we, man? Birds of a feather here. Hit me up on LinkedIn, hit me up there. Let's reconnect. Also, are you going to any other conferences this year? Like any big ones? I'll see you there. Okay? Not rocket scientists, but you have to do it. You have to actually do not miss out on the opportunity. You paid the money, you went to the thing, you spent your time as well. Don't waste it. Sermon over. All right. Tech Ricky says he's a Menti boy too. What's up? That's what I'm talking about. All right, there it is. I know Jerry has got stuff doing, and then we are 4 minutes or 5 minutes over at this point. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It was a great conversation. We saw a lot of cool stuff and hopefully got a lot of good advice and things to think about and reflect upon for our week coming up. A lot of fun today. Again, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week with more CyberCast IRL. Until then, keep hacking.